up, guys? Welcome to another exciting episode of Sports Jabber with J&J. Hope you all are having a great Friday. It is cold here. We were supposed to get hit by a snowstorm, but instead it did the whole loop-de-loop and hit Fargo instead. So,
Sound like you're disappointed about that. I'm happy. I don't want to.
well, I wanted to go sledding, though. I bought a sled, and I haven't used it for like 4 years. It's just sitting in my garage collecting dust mites.
Snow is only good between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day.
No,
Only
it has
time
to be
snow is
Christmas, though.
Between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day.
Okay, got it.
Snow between that period is fine. Anything before or after that, no. I don't like it.
Just as long as I get to go sledding, man. That's all I want to do.
You can sled without snow.
Yeah.
You don't technically need snow to go sledding. Granted, not as fun. Falls hurt a little bit more.
A little bit more?
A little bit.
A little bit more.
Depends how many rocks you fall on. But, you can still do it.
I'm going to live in a van down by the river.
Alright, motivational speaker.
My name is not Matt Foley, and I'm not divorced.
Okay. Well, that's a weird start to the show, but you know what?
You're welcome.
Sometimes those lead to the best shows.
You're
Yeah, we'll see.
Welcome.
So, I'm once again rocking some more Cubs championship gear.
Surprise.
Surprise, surprise. I'll be rocking a lot of new,
Every episode.
pretty much, yeah. 'Cause, gotta enjoy it while it lasts.
Could be another 108 years.
I don't see the Packers winning, the Super Bowl this year, so might as well enjoy the Cubs Super Bowl or the Cubs World
Wearing an Alex
Series.
Smith jersey, so.
and-
Hey-yo.
Heck with Packers, is Mike McCarthy going to be there next year? What's wrong with Aaron Rodgers? What's the whole deal with the chemistry in the locker room? Because apparently it's kind of boiling over. So yeah, things just been going downhill for the Packers. Is getting just destroyed by the Titans last week. If you're getting destroyed by the Titans,
I wish I had Mariota on my fantasy team last week.
season's going downhill. But on a positive note is they're in such a bad division that they're still technically in it.
There's still a shot.
They're only a game back of the division-leading Lions.
Yeah, the Lions
Lions.
won the division last week on a bye.
That feels weird to say.
On a bye
Division-leading
week.
Lions.
Yeah, they didn't even play last week, and they're leaders.
Both
Crazy.
Packers and Vikings are on this downward spiral. Packers are a little bit worse off. Mike, there's talking. Has Mike McCarthy kind of worn out his welcome there? It's been so long. Do the players really? Do they need a new voice to come in and shake things up?
They do, Bob.
And like I said, depending, I'm never a fan of doing coaching changes mid-season. So we'll see how the rest of the season plays out, and if they don't turn it around, then yes, I think they need to make a change.
So I would ride him out till the end of the season, and then season's over. If they don't make the playoffs, well, even if they make the playoffs or go on a deep run or not, I still can't know.
No, if they go on a deep run,
You think they'd have to keep him?
I'd keep them if they go on a deep run. Because Aaron Rodgers came out and spoke for him, which is what you're supposed to do. But then again, Aaron Rodgers has been kind of having some issues with both the players in the locker room. They've kind of, subtly taken shots at him. And some former players, Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, have come out recently and said that they were the greatest fans of Rodgers just because Rodgers never takes the blame himself. He always likes to pass it on. When as a leader of the team, you have to just, say, hey, that's on me. Stick up for your teammates, which apparently he doesn't do a whole lot. So, and then, he has this whole family issue, which, that's his I don't really like looking at the personal aspect of it because that's just his personal life. I like just focus what's on the field, in the locker room. So that's what I'll focus on is that. But, it's... I don't know if, even Aaron Rodgers needs to, take a look in the mirror. It's like, is Aaron Rodgers losing his team? That's definitely a possibility. If they don't feel like he has their back when they're always going to stick up for him, that's going to, work against them. They're not going to want to fight for him that much. Because 2 weeks ago, he said, basically the rest of the team wasn't putting the energy out like he was, basically. And You know what?
Yeah,
I'm watching Aaron Rodgers. A lot's on him. He's missing a lot of throws. He has not looked
like the Rodgers we're accustomed to seeing.
He's looked poor. You know, we've talked to him about it before. Him, overthrowing, missing targets, and all this. I mean, he can't sit there and blame everybody else. Part of it is him. He has to take that responsibility. So the Packers just seem to be in this set of turmoil, and I don't know how they come out of it. Winning cures all ills, but I mean, they have to win, and
they can start this week.
They can. They play the Redskins.
Go to Washington.
They won last year. The playoffs, and
I don't think Deshaun Jackson.
And other than Chuck Pagano, Marvin Lewis, Mike McCarthy, Gus Bradley, I'm not really sure if there's any other necessarily coach that's going to be on the hot seat. I can't really think of any other ones outside of those.
I don't see anybody. No.
No, obviously at the end there's always a couple of surprise fires.
Oh yeah, there'll be a surprising where we'll just can somebody. So, mid-season of the NFL season, pretty much.
Yeah, mid-season.
So, getting more closer towards the playoffs. So, any teams that you think are gonna go the distance that might be a dark horse?
I mean, like I said, this
it's a weird season. I know.
I mean, there's really no. There's
no
only
clear cuts. Maybe two.
Yeah, Patriots and maybe the Cowboys, maybe, but we'll see. As the season goes on, there's more pressure put on the Cowboys if Dak Prescott handles it. With all the distractions of Tony Romo, things like that. We'll see how well it handles. But as you have Tom Brady, who Tom Brady and the Patriots. Been there many times. And no one in the AFC I really foresee challenging them. No one looks up to the par that they are.
No, not. And to reiterate on that, even with the Broncos' solid defense, their inexperience of Trevor Siemian is starting to show now. Mm-hmm. As we get, like we said earlier in the episodes, as before the season started, that once we get later on in the season here, we'll start to see the inexperience of Trevor Siemian, not able to get the ball to his receivers, and I think they lost C.J. Anderson as well, and that defense is going to be on the field longer also, and that's kind of what's happening.
Yeah, it's catching up. So I mean, really, it's kind of the Patriots, and then maybe next team after that, Raiders.
The Raiders.
I mean.
We picked them, though, to go in the playoffs.
We did.
I was very high on them opening in the season.
So, I mean, it very well could come down to the Raiders and Patriots in the championship game. I don't... you can never count out the Steelers. They've been there many times.
Yeah, they're one of those weird teams where they're struggling now, but they could win like 4 or 5 games in a row. Yeah, so you can
never count the Steelers out. Other than that, though, there's really no one else in that...
I honestly don't know.
...conference set. It scares me outside the Patriots, and then...
I looked at stuff onto the computer today, and nothing. I want to give a big shout-out, though, to my boy, Sean Otis, and your Dallas Cowboys. I see you guys, I see them, I see you coming, You were all high on them in the draft. They drafted Ezekiel, drafted Dak, and, you said they'd do good, and now they are, so, I mean... I hope they keep it up, but I'm just throwing a shout out, And
yeah, I mean, in the NFC, it looks like it may come down to the Cowboys and maybe the Seahawks, maybe.
I will say to Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, though, the Cowboys do have one of the best O lines in the game.
Oh yeah,
and that's Ezekiel Elliott's a stud and Dak, but they have one of the top O lines in the league.
Yeah,
they make their jobs very easy.
Put a running back behind offensive line like that, I mean, makes him even better.
Yeah, he's looking like an MVP candidate. Some are saying.
Yeah, I mean, some are saying Ezekiel MVP, Dak Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
hard to really argue that. But
2 backfield.
Yeah, I mean, Cowboys, Seahawks, maybe I guess the NFC top contenders. No one else. I mean, Falcons.
They can put up points, but they can't defend. That's their issue.
Yeah, and then you have
the Saints are struggling.
NFC North. Obviously, we talked about that division not looking very good. NFC West, you got the Seahawks,
Seahawks.
Cardinals. I mean, just kind of barely hanging on. There's the East, Cowboys. I mean, Giants
Maybe
look
the
okay.
Giants, maybe the Eagles. Carson will make a wild card, maybe.
Maybe. And then you have the South. You have the Falcons and Panthers who losing Luke Kuechly. I mean, for who knows how long with that whatever concussion or whatever that was. And then I mean it's.
This is probably, and I'm going to say this on YouTube TV. I hope it goes national, but this is probably one of the most pathetic NFL seasons as a football fan.
Yeah, and
it's pretty sad.
Yeah,
the primetime games are a joke.
Talked about that the past 2 episodes, and just
and
it continues not to get any better.
The what is it? The Monday night game is in New Mexico. That's kind of cool. Or Mexico City. Mexico City, sorry. But it's a surging Raiders team against a struggling Houston Texans team.
Yeah.
Without J.J. Watt. And with Brock Osweiler, who cannot throw the ball to DeAndre Hopkins.
Now, like I said, a situation like that, I'll give the NFL a pass kind of there, because when they made the schedule, they thought that would be a better...
Right, they assumed that both teams would be playing
well. Yeah, because they thought, obviously J.J. Watt may still be there, and they thought that, Brock Osweiler would be better than what he has been. So, I mean, I'll give the NFL a pass on that. Like I said, it's this times reschedule like the Ravens and Browns. No one cares. No one's going to watch that. Like I said, until the Browns become relevant, they don't deserve to be in a primetime game.
Until they get LeBron James to play tight end, I'm not going to watch.
Not even LeBron James would watch that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's... The only thing Cleveland has, Cleveland
are the Cavs.
Cavs and the Indians.
The Indians, the Indians did at least go to the World Series.
Yeah. And then, speaking of, Cleveland, basketball season, kind of up and, very...
We will be talking about that in past episodes, because it's going.
We will be talking about it in past episodes? We're going to talk about that in the past?
Be a psychic, kind of fortune teller.
Yeah, the NFL, or the NBA
it's the cold, it's the altitude in the air,
NBA season is, in its infancy. There hasn't been anything that's really stood out so far. You have the Cavs that are going to be, you expect to be there. The Warriors, you expect to be there. You have, like the NBA, you have like these handful of great teams, and then it's just kind of everybody else that's there. No one. That's just basically how it always works. Great teams, great like 4 or 5 teams. Everybody else is kind of almost as role playing teams that are just kind of there to serve as, practices for these teams that are going to end up being in the finals.
And then it doesn't matter because half the league makes it in the playoffs.
Oh God, which I can't stand the NBA playoffs.
They have 8 teams from each division, West and East, that make it.
I hate it when no team that has a losing record should ever be in the playoffs.
But that's why they're an 8th seed. They play the 1 seed to get swept every year, pretty much.
Right now, the way the NBA playoffs works, they have 8 teams in each division, or each conference, whatever.
Yeah.
Make it. Every series is a 7-game series. So the playoffs start in April and get done in end of June. So you have 2 months there of playoffs. Granted, I know the NBA loves making Monday night period, but oh my God, that is way too long. And then in each series, it's game, day off, game, couple days off, game. It's like there are way too many days off in there.
Because they got to travel, apparently.
What they need to do is cut the teams that make it down to like 6 per conference. East West, put it down to 6.
Be fair.
Put the first series at 5 games, and then have baseball. 2 games in a row. Travel day. 2 games in a row. Travel day and 5th game. Next series you can do 7. And then 2 games in a row travel, 3 games in a row travel, 2 games in a row. And then do that for the remainder. I can't stand it when you have game, day off, game day off.
Well, I mean,
it's too much.
I get bothered by it because, we're talking about the game on travel or day off. With the Cavaliers Warriors series, fans would get into the series, then it's like, oh, we gotta wait a day.
Yeah.
It's like, what? That takes away from the excitement from the series,
Yeah, there's too many
breaks.
Too many breaks, and I hate their playoffs. I hate their playoff system. It's just annoying. And they talk, okay, NBA's talked to you a few times about, maybe possibly, doing a different seeding, where instead of taking on, the division winners, get the best seeding, just go strictly off of record. And so, you have, you can have these two great teams in the same division, but one's going to be the 1 seed, and one's going to be the 4, because they didn't win the division, but yeah, clearly they're the better team than everyone else that is seated above them. Which I'd be okay with.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Granted, you want to put an emphasis on winning the your division or whatever, but in basketball, I don't think it matters as much.
No, because they have 8 teams that go, so who cares?
Yeah, and like I said, 8 teams is just... I hate it when it devalues making the playoffs so much, since over half the league does. So it's almost more of an accomplishment not to make the playoffs than it is to make the playoffs, because you're one of the select few teams that didn't make the playoffs, as one of the majority of the teams that did. But I hate their playoff system. Say what you will about baseball, what you think of the game. I think their playoff system is the best because you only have 5 teams in each league that make it.
It's so more exciting.
There's much more. There's a lot more accomplishment to make the playoffs than it is. And I kind of like the way they have it. You have the wild card, which is a 1-game play-in. Build some excitement there. Things like that. And then you have a 5-game series, 7-game LCS, and then you have the 7-game World Series. And I like the way they have it set up. It doesn't get drawn out. And then there is this built-in excitement because everybody loves when it's a 7-game series. Everyone loves Game 7. Whether it's whatever sport it's in. Basketball, baseball, hockey. Everybody loves a Game 7. I'll have it all come down to that one game. Football, every playoff game is a Game 7, basically. It's only one and done. So, but yeah, basketball playoffs just bug me. But I mean,
I would say so. Wow.
But yeah, like you said, NBA season, okay, the Cavs are going to be there, the Warriors are going to be there, Spurs are going to be there.
It's going to be the same 4 it was last year, basically. And it's probably going to come down to the Cavs and Warriors again battling it out. And
that's the bad thing about, basketball is, you wish there'd be more parity. You wish you would, being a fan of, like, the Bucks or, a team like that, it's like, every year you're going in, we don't have a shot. Maybe make the playoffs, but we're going to be an 8th seed, we're going to be just first round. So it's, unless you're like one to have that star player, you don't have a shot.
You're pretty much done.
It would be nice if there was a way to get more parity in the NBA, so more teams can
have a chance.
Yeah.
Right, because if you're saying like last night or on Wednesday, you had the Raptors. No, they have Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. But they're playing Golden State with Durant, Curry, Draymond, and Thompson. It was good for the first 10 minutes, and then after that, it was just blowout.
Yeah,
I turned.
And then, granted, you have like a team like San Antonio, where San Antonio you would never think of a city that would have like this powerhouse team, but they just happen to have a great general manager, a great coach, and they had this once in a generation player in Tim Duncan, and they basically rode that. With
all the way
a couple of good role players to go along with him, and we'll see what they do now without him. We'll see how this season goes.
They did beat Golden State by a big margin recently. So
granted they still have Popovich as a coach, so that's
he's
that's
one of the greatest coaches in the NBA. Probably.
But you look at all the other the teams, Timberwolves, Bucks, Pelicans, Hornets, these teams, Grizzlies, the Magic, these teams where you really don't have much of a shot. Phoenix Suns.
The Phoenix Suns.
They're just there. A fan of that team, going over is like, we don't have a shot. Unless we can, somehow get this superstar free agent to come here, which...
Throw enough money at him.
Which generally they don't.
No.
Because, you can only throw so much at them because the team that they're currently with is able to put more money to them to, try to keep them. And if, like, you're Phoenix, Minnesota, the Milwaukee, you can't entice them with what's in your city more than, like, New York can, Los Angeles, Chicago, Miami. You can't have... Cleveland got lucky that LeBron just happened to be from that area. Otherwise, there's no way LeBron's going to go back to Cleveland. No, he'd have left and he'd have been gone. We have never seen him again. But because he's from that area, that's why he went back. So, yeah, he was a prodigal son. That's... Unless you're Milwaukee and just happen to have this guy that's great come from your area that wants to play for his hometown team, you don't have much of a shot, and it's unfortunate.
It's a bad shake.
Yeah. I don't know what they can do to really change that, and there's really not much they can. They have... they put these different things in, plays like if, someone like whoever the Bucks draft, they can offer them more money, but that player can earn that money back and then some endorsements by going to a bigger city.
Right.
So it doesn't really affect, help as much as it maybe once did. So, it's, interesting. Right now it's a interesting time for sports. Like I said, basketball's kind of in its infancy, NHL's in its infancy. College basketball just starting to kick up.
My Heels play at 10:30 tonight. Woo!
College football starting to wind down in the regular season. And then football in its halfway point. So, interesting time. We'll see what happens with college football and the NFL. And then really basketball and both NBA and NCAA. They'll get my attention more come February, March.
I'm going to watch them heavy now.
Once you start getting down to the tournament time and the playoffs. Yeah. Because the regular season in both leagues, it means nothing. Regular season in the NCAA just matters for seeding because everyone's still going to make the tournament. 64. And then the NBA season, what teams are going to make to the postseason right now. You already know.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, you'll get my attention when, it gets to the playoff time. All right, well, hope everyone has a good weekend. We're going to try to heal up from being sick.
Drink plenty of hot cocoa, and when you do the tea, do the double tea bag with the thing of honey, and put some sugar in there as well. Make sure to stir it. Also, make sure that you drink your Theraflu. That's the Theraflu in the, not the off-brand. It actually says Theraflu. And if you're having a coughing attack at night, sleep on your sides. And that is Sports Jabber's medical stat of the day.
Don't take any medical advice we give you. Have a good night.